Hey, Cleaning Nation, Mike Campion here with the amazing Suzanne Bandick. I think she's a fan favorite. I know she's a Mike favorite. Today, we are going to talk about the monkey mind, which is one of our former mindset coaches, Tracy, who I think has gone on to buy a cleaning company, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if she made it up or if she found it somewhere else, but I'm giving her credit because that's where I first heard it. And Suzanne, please correct me if you're like, no, that was mine. Anyway, that's my recollection. And it's so funny. This works at every level. I do this where I allow my mind to start asking questions and go, this is probably overstating it, but going to the dark places, right? What if, and all these terrible things. And not only does it feel awful, I found it debilitates me from getting in the creative space I need to solve. It's not only does it remind me of the problem, make me feel bad about the problem, it does nothing to help me with the problem and often gets in the way of this, and yet I go to it. So I don't know why we do this. I don't know how to fix it, but that's why we have Suzanne, because I think she can help on both. Suzanne, talk monkey mind, sister.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, let's do the introduction in case people are like, what? Monkey mind? What in the world is that?
Good call.
Okay, so when you come up with this really great idea or somebody gives you something that you think, oh, I should do that. And you think it's a great idea for a minute, maybe even just a nanosecond before this little voice in your head kicks in. And the little voice says, wait a minute, you haven't done that before. What if you fail? Oh, wait a minute. Remember last time you tried to do something and it didn't work out? Remember you lost your money or you were embarrassed or something happened? And that's what we call your monkey mind. It's that little voice inside your head that can stop you from even doing things. You're moving, it either keeps you moving in the wrong direction or it actually stops you from doing things that could support and help you.
Hate that. Yeah. And you mentioned kind of in a nanosecond right away. I've also found it, even if I take on a longer term project, that if a problem comes up or doesn't go the way that I think, doubts start creeping in, like maybe, or is it, or did I really, or should I really? So it's insidious. I found I get it a lot, like you said, in the nanosecond or in the first minutes. But sometimes I get it over a longer period as well. So how do you, again, I don't know if the why is super important, but I'm just curious from your experience and perspective, which is greater than mine in this regard. Why do we have that? And then, of course, what's a more effective way to to comport ourselves?
Well, let's get a really good visual for monkey first. Okay, because otherwise we don't know what's controlling us. When we say, I want to do something and then we don't do it, if it's invisible, it's really hard to catch it. Right? It's like this little invisible computer virus. It's like this little mouse. Something's running around in your head. You can't quite catch that tail. You just know, I wanted to do it and then I didn't do it and I'm not quite sure why. So if we can identify this little gremlin in your head, this little voice, I and Tracy used to call it monkey mind. So let's identify monkey mind as, even picture it like a little monkey, dress him up, him, dress him up in a business suit. Mine has a little tutu, thinks she's like a magical fairy. And when you hear that little voice that says, wait a minute, by the way, monkey loves to pull up past stories, pull up past events that maybe didn't go so well for you. And monkey has a reason for doing this. Monkey's trying to protect us. Monkey doesn't want us to feel bad. Monkey doesn't want us to fail again. Monkey wants to keep us safe and secure, even if we don't really like where we are, at least we know it. If monkey had its way, it would probably have us sitting on the couch eating potato chips all day, never leave the house. It's safer there. So it's really important first to identify that little voice in your head that stops you from doing things. And then I have a really simple strategy. You look like you wanted to add something in, Mike.
Well, I just like the way that you put it, because I always just saw the monkey mind as destructive and anti whatever I'm trying to do that's effective and big and great, it's getting in the way. And I always just thought it was this negative. And it kind of, I don't know why it helps me, but to go, no, no, it's trying to help. And it's just very short-sighted. So it's not that it's evil. It's often wrong, but its motives are good. It's really trying, because I'm like, why would my brain like trick me and do this thing? And it's what I'm really hearing you say is the monkey mind only sees 10 seconds in the future. So again, eat the thing that's going to make you feel good now, because who cares about fat guy later? That's I'll never, like, monkey mind thinks he's dying tomorrow. So he's just, again, it's fine to sit on the couch if you don't need to build anything or live a life. And it's great. So all the decisions he makes or she makes are great for today, probably less so for tomorrow. And I think that's quadruply insidious in the business owner, right? So if you're, and nothing wrong with, kind of worker bee types, but if they're like, hey, I go in, I do my bit, I come home, I be with my family. I don't, I think the monkey mind could be a little like, well, I should be play with my kids instead of watching TV, or again, eat some junky food or drink too much, or, make these bad decisions long-term that give me short-term benefit. But I think we can kind of contain a little more. But when it comes to building a business, everything's like scary, everything's, no one's going to, I shouldn't say no one, but most people are going to get like, yeah, I sat on the couch and ate food that was bad for me and watched Netflix for too long. Like, got it. Like, it's fine, because we can all do that a Saturday a month, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's like, so if the monkey mind isn't great for many, if not most situations, for a regular person just with a job, with an entrepreneur, it seems like it's just, I don't know that you could have the monkey mind be in charge too much and be an entrepreneur. Like, he has to die to some degree. Yeah, well, that's right. I went extreme.
How about we tame monkey? How about we calm it? Give a banana. Have a banana monkey. Go sit in the corner.
This is why Suzanne's a nicer human. I immediately go to death, and she's like, can't we just tame it and make him our friend? I'm like, no, it's gotta kill it. So this is
unfortunately, it multiplies. You never seem to be able to actually kill it. It's always there.
This is why I struggle. All right. So even that, yeah, tame it, don't kill it. All right. Back to you, Suzanne. I just really like that. Again, I'm so black and white. You're speaking in nuance and in gray, which I think is helpful. If it's not bad, it's just, you have to just be clear on what it is. You don't have to kill it. You just have to make it behave.
Exactly. Awareness is the key. And with our monkey, if it's not pulling the stories that happened in the past, oh, remember this, it's going to go to the future and it's going to say, what if? And like you said, Mike, it's usually the negative. But what if you fail? What if it doesn't work? What if you spend money and it doesn't work? What if you try and you look bad?
And even in the past, that's one of my favorite things I love watching you do, Suzanne. It only brings up stories of failure. And you're so great at asking questions about times you haven't failed. Like, well, I've never built a business I want before. I know, but when's the time you set out to do something and it worked? When's the time you hired an employee and it did work out well? Like, on the micro, there's tons of experiences, but again, the monkey mind selectively only picks out failures, both past and perceived future.
Exactly. So let's discuss how to tame and handle that monkey mind a little bit. Okay.
We can't kill it. Fine, I guess we'll tame it.
You're such a boy, Mike.
That is such a male female response. The guy's like, let's kill it. Let's make a fur out of it. And the women are like,
big stick.
Why don't we just, or maybe we just make it behave. Oh, I guess we could do that.
Okay. So first thing to do is to acknowledge it. And I always say, use the words, thank you for sharing.
I love that. I love that.
Okay, because if we do not acknowledge that little voice, it's going to continue to run rampant, run invisibly behind the scenes. So we can't do what we actually know we want to do.
I can actually prove that to you, Suzanne, or not prove that to you. You already know. I can prove that. I can give additional data to the audience. When my little guy, who's now 8, was like 4, he had lots of questions. And it was just like exactly like, not that my son was a monkey, but I think a 4-year-old human brain and a monkey brain probably have quite a bit of similarities to them. And again, if he'll ask something 1,000 times, like all you parents out there are not moms and dads, we all get like, yep, been there, done that. And it's funny for like, dude, just settle, just chill, like just give us, I prompt, like, and we keep our word. If we say we're gonna go to the park, we're gonna go to the park. Like it's not like we trick him. So we kind of try exactly what Suzanne says. We try and kill that question of why, when, tell me more. When are we gonna go? We're gonna go, we're gonna go, we're gonna go. And it never worked. And I forget, a counselor, somebody just gave us some feedback to do exactly what Suzanne said. Thank you, Christian, for letting us know you want to go to the park. And it's so funny, like it absolutely, I don't know why, but just that acknowledging it and owning it. And thank you. Hey, I know you want to go to the park. Thank you for sharing and reminding us how excited you are. We're going to go in a little bit. Not intuitive. We had to be told. It wasn't intuitive for my wife and I. Maybe it was for Suzanne. We had to learn it, but wildly helpful. So I think that internal conversation, just shut up, stop it. I can do it. Just like white knuckling. I'm successful. I can do it. Better than nothing. But just, hey, thank you for that perspective. And if I want to be happy today, that's a great perspective. Anyway, I just love that frame, Suzanne.
Thank you. That's a beautiful example, Mike, because even though this little voice, this little monkey lives in our head, it's part of us. Imagine if it was outside. Imagine like your son or someone else, and it's saying, knock, 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 wait, pay attention to me.
Constantly, yeah.
And you ignore it. Do you think it goes away?
Just gets louder and worse and more annoying.
Exactly. So be aware of when you come up with this great idea or something that you want to do. When that little voice says, it usually comes in like, yeah, but. Yeah, but remember when, or yeah, but what if you fail?
Those are writer downers for the monkey. Yeah, but what if, and remember when. I think those are 80% of how the monkey starts its sentences.
Right. So it's important at that point to be aware. And as I mentioned, you say, thank you for sharing that thought. Acknowledge it. Thank you for sharing that thought.
Hey, Clean Nation, Mike Campion here. One of my least favorite things about these podcasts are we found that people love the show and they love the information, but when I talk to you guys in person, stuff doesn't get done. People love the podcast, but they don't take any action. If you'd like to actually implement this and get this done in your world, we have a whole team of people that do exactly that. If you go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk, you can book a time with either myself personally or one of our teammates to at least help you come up with a plan to actually implement and change your life. So if you want to go from getting these good ideas in your head to getting in your life, just book a free call with myself or my team, growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. And we can go from this one-to-many format to one-to-one and really get you some results. Excited to talk.
Now, the second phrase I recommend is, I know you're only trying to protect me.
You're so much of a nicer person than I was going to say. None of those phrases came up in my mind.
Okay, because there's a certain amount of gratitude in that. It's not like, I hate you, you're bad, you're evil, go away.
That's what I was doing. And it as soon as you're explaining this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes so much more sense.
Beautiful. So I know, thank you for sharing. I know you're trying to protect me. Now you've acknowledged both. Now you can say, however, and please, if you're writing this down, write however in great big bold letters, capitals. Okay. The response is, however, this time I have support, or this time I'm a different person, or this time fill in the blank, so that you can say that.
Because first of all, everything you said sounds, most of the stuff is kind of hard, not hard, but it takes a little effort. Everything you said, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so sensible. Seems like it seems, once I get it, I'm like, that seems natural. I'm hearing Cleaning Nation screaming, I don't have a however, right? That, could you give a little more help to someone that believes their monkey mind's so strong that they don't believe they have a however?
Well, let's do a specific, can you give me an example? That would help. Absolutely.
And again, let me really build my monkey
case.
Yeah, my monkey case.
I got it.
First, I wanted to kill the monkey. Now I want to be the monkey. I'm ready to have a schizophrenic break here, Suzanne. All right, we'll just go with hiring, because I think that's such a, or growing. You can fill in. So at home, play along and fill in your case, right? But we'll just go with hiring, because I think that'll hit many people. Suzanne, I've tried hiring before. Nobody wants to work in my area. They're all quit. I've had so many friends tell me that their employees stole from their customers. They lost their whole company, and I've tried this 1,000 times. Every way it can be tried, and it's just easier if I do it myself. I wish there was. I want to, however, Suzanne, I really do. It just, I don't think it exists for me in my circumstance here in my city.
Wow. Thanks for the doozy, Mike.
Yeah, you said I could make a
This
case. I'm
is
making a
good.
goddamn case.
This is good. This is good. Okay, Mike's used to this monkey mind talk. Okay. Okay. So again, let me just clarify. You're like, you're thinking, I do need help. However, in the past, I haven't had any success. And I'm hearing other stories that people aren't willing to work, getting good work. They're not trustworthy if they do work. Why even bother trying to go through the mess of getting employees? I should just do it all myself. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
I have to point out what Suzanne did naturally, that just so you guys can go like, how did she do that? Why did she do that? The first thing she did, I was a little over the top with my ridiculousness on just, Suzanne's like, pile on. I'm like, oh, you want me to pile on? I gave her a ridiculous amount of negative, but I really just verbalized what I think we're mostly thinking. Like, we don't say it to another human being because we don't want to sound like a crazy person, but I think we're thinking it. So the first thing Suzanne did, and I love your just human natural response. Wow. Just wasn't shitty, wasn't, part of my language, it wasn't rude or like defensive, like, come on, Mike, get slap out of it. How you can't think like that. This is just going to double me down, right? She just went, wow, and gave me space to go, all right, maybe that was a little crazy, allowed me to recognize, okay, I think I was probably being a bit too much. So I just love that, creating space, not a judgmental thing. Well, it's too much. And Mike, come on, that's never going to work for you. And like, she could have judged and I could have just doubled down on my position. She just kind of popped the balloon a little bit with, wow, like, just give me space. I love that.
We can do that with ourselves, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because we're not going to always have a Suzanne. That you got to give your own self, like, how much more, not that Suzanne's not great, but how much more powerful is it after you give this diatribe in your own mind, you have the fortitude to just give yourself a, wow, Mike, you got a lot going on, brother. And just have me go, yeah, well, maybe it wasn't. Cause that's exactly what I did in my mind. And I'm faking it. And as soon as you went, wow, I'm like, all right, well, maybe that was a bit much. Right. So you helped me take my own temperature down. You can do that and take your own temperature down. Second piece was, in a very loving way, you reset it, because you're so intuitive at these things. My emotion was, you don't get it, Suzanne. And you re-articulated it to me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, she does get it, which allowed me to be open to what she's going to say. So how you do that with your own self is obviously pop your own balloon with, wow. And then you can even say, just like Suzanne did. So what you're saying, Mike, is X, Y, Z. And they're like, yeah, that's it. It's almost like giving me like, because if I was really crazy, like, and another thing, I could have given you more.
I was expecting it.
Yeah. And Suzanne's like, just get it. All right, enough, get it all out. Like, Monkey, if you're going to talk, before I say thank you and I appreciate, I really want to give it all. It's so beautiful, Suzanne. If we could do that for our own selves and our own minds, God bless. If not, find a Suzanne in your life. Please continue. I think you did it naturally and people didn't notice it. And I wanted them to notice it.
Thank you, Mike. And it is something that we can learn. We just need to be aware, right? Like, wow, thank you. So in that particular instance, Mike, I would suggest that you or anyone else kind of separate things, because that was a lot. So one might be, yeah, but people aren't willing to work. And another one might be, yeah, but I don't know that I can trust them. I'm going to spend more time training them and babysitting them than this is just going to be easier. So the response could be, wow, thank you, Monkey, for sharing all of that with me. However, let's look at the reality. If I'm the one that has to continue to clean, okay, so it's almost like a thought discussion in your head.
Yeah.
If I have to continue to clean, but my body's aching, I can't do this forever. But my family's suffering, I never see them. But I can never grow and take on more clients because it's only me doing all the work, and that's not sustainable, right? So okay, Monkey, something has to change. So what if Okay, so now we're kind of opening a little bit of a discussion. By the way, monkey, have a banana, chomp on this while we're having this discussion. Okay. However, there must be, let's take one thing at a time. There must be people out there who do want to work, who love cleaning. They don't want to sit on the couch. They do want to feel like they have a meaningful life. And they absolutely love, let's say, residential. Go into someone's home and make it look shining, spotless, and make that person feel like they love coming home. They want to do that. There must be at least a few people out there. Yes, I understand there's a lot that don't, but there must be some. And then let's go on with the honesty. There's got to be people out there that are honest and trustworthy. And I'm sure I could, I'm thinking I would probably be able to find them, right? Like maybe you can't go to the opposite extreme.
Okay. So I love that. And that hopefully that gives everyone a good tool. Like, yeah, I could do that. The thing that and this just shows my neuroticism. So I'm going to selfishly ask for coaching, assuming there's some other people out there going, oh my gosh, I do that. I interrupt because I'll do what you said, but I'll interrupt it with another thing. So as opposed to me finishing a thought, you said it perfectly. There's got to be, I'm sure there's someone out there that really wants to clean is amazing. Here comes monkey mind again. Like he finishes, god dang, I should get more bananas. He finished it. Yeah, but he's going to want to start his own. And then if I start saying, thank you for that feedback. Yeah. So how do you, when the monkey finishes his banana before you articulate this thought, he goes, yeah, I'm already in with another. Yeah. But how do you how do you reconcile that?
More bananas.
So just
write them down. If you need to, write them down. If monkey's talking to you too fast, write them all down.
Okay. So
I would say, monkey, I hear you. Thank you for sharing. I know you're trying to protect me. Let me write this all down. Let me get this straight. What are all the things you're worried about?
Because some of them, okay, so we'll just use this one example. So no one wants to work where I'm at. And then I start having the adult thought of, well, some people will have to work. That's an unreasonable, of course, maybe not everybody and maybe even the majority, but I don't need 1,000 people. I need like 4 people. So obviously there's 4 people. So I start writing that down, or I start thinking that. I'm not writing it down yet. The monkey goes, yeah, but those 4 people are going to want to work for themselves. That's when I'm like, all right, let's write that down. And then I go, those 4 people were, and I guess I would just do the same thing. Yes, maybe 50% of the people don't want to work, or 80%. And maybe of those 80%, 80% are going to want to work for themselves. But there's got to be some person. So would I just continue the same process, just writing it down for better articulation?
Exactly. Because if it just swims in your head, you get nowhere. It's all swimming in your head. You had a lot of stuff. This mayor, I'm guessing that most people don't have everything that you just threw out. No. Just, right? So one thing at a time, and you say, however, what if? What if I can find those people? However, what if I at least try? However, so again, thank you for sharing, monkey. I know you're trying to protect me. However, look at how life could change if we try. And monkey's probably going to, at that point, say, well, okay, I did my best. You go ahead and try.
Yeah, at some point, monkey's just going to give up knowing he or she's outgunned.
That's not to say monkey won't come back, right? You say, yes, I'm going to try. And then you're ready to do interviews or something, and monkey's back again. And you just say, thank you, monkey. However, right? Find the words that say, this time, I'm just going to try this. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to make it different. So by acknowledging it, we've satisfied part of that thought, right? We've satisfied that, okay, you're acknowledging me. Now, when you've acknowledged it, you can actually figure out what you can do differently.
100%. Okay. I love that, because I really think at its root, that's got to be touch on 80% of the problems that we have, is just that internal dialogue that we let the monkey mind take over as opposed to the adults. All right, guys, gals, 2 things. One, if you've got that monkey mind screaming at you that you can't, I can't grow, I can't get out of cleaning, I can't get out of the field, I can't start a cleaning business. God bless you if you can get to the point where you can walk through what Suzanne said. If not, like most of us, and you need some help, get some gosh darn help. Find a coach, whether it's us or somebody else. obviously us, if you want to build a cleaning company, we've got specific help in that. But when it comes to just breaking down beliefs, there are lots of people that have skill. I mean, there's not a lot of Suzanne. She's pretty unique, but there's lots of people that have similar skill sets that can help you. And don't, and again, well, that's a perfect example. And then we got to wrap it. But well, what if I heard a friend wasted money on it or didn't work? Or what if it doesn't work? Or what if I let my hopes down again? Perfect example. So maybe take this time, if you've got a goal that you're not hitting and you know that getting some help is the next best step, but your monkey mind's been holding you back, take this moment to go, thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate the perspective. However, and work it through. And if you do decide to reach out to us that you need some help, feel free to email me, mike@growmycleaningcompany.com, and just in the subject line, just put monkey mind, and I'll know this is exactly where you came from. And I will give you a little extra love and attention just because I know how hard it was for you to do what you need to do. Anything else before we wrap, Suzanne?
Beautiful, Mike. Thank you.
Great, guys. You're the best. All the resources we have, growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now. See you there. Hey, Cleaning Nation, if you dug the content you just got, we don't do any ads and I don't sell anything on this podcast, but if you would just subscribe, rate, and review, it would be huge and I'd be so appreciative. Not only is it going to help me, but you'll help other owners of cleaning companies across the world work less, make more, and get profitable. So if you appreciate the value we give, again, subscribe, rate, and review. It would mean the world to me. I'd really appreciate it. And we sure appreciate your time and attention.